Hey guys, how are we tonight? Hey Sensei, how you going? All right, we've got a few things on tonight. So a bit of news that's coming during the week. Just as the ticker says below, thanks very much for those who have joined up with the memberships. Certainly every little bit helps with making these streams possible and the other videos. Don't know if you guys caught the video I did with Sturdy from the TMC forums, who has done an excellent job helping people out with their Tesla orders and tracking those deliveries. That video is available if you guys haven't seen it yet. A few more supercharger bits of news. A brand new one that popped up just 5 days ago. It was first spotted, and this is just a little 3-stall version 3 that popped up at the IGA in Kerrang. Shot was snapped by Ron Kelly on Facebook. Yeah, spotted on the 7th of July, and it's already active on the 12th of July. Ron Kelly again has taken a photo of it active and working. That's a very quick turnaround. I'm suspecting these may be some of the version 3s that might have been pulled out of the other sites that have been converted to version 4s. But great to see another charging site open in an area that can certainly use it. That's in Kerrang in Victoria. As far as other charging sites, I'm going to, based on the feedback I've had, I'm not going to go through every site that's opened up around the world. Just go through some of the important bits. The first one here is a change for Moonee Ponds. Anyone that uses that particular charger, see here from TechAU on X, from 29th of August, the Moonee Ponds chargers will only be operational from 6 a.m. to 12 a.m. So nothing from midnight to 6 a.m. Anyone that uses those particular superchargers, just be aware of that. Another one on X of note is the 2000th stall in Norway. So they've done up what they did in the States. The 2000th stall has been given a little fancy paintwork. It would be cool to see once we get a good milestone here, see if they do something similar. Hey, Malcolm. Yeah, I did see that one, Sensei. Yeah, he did the tests. The claim was that even just driving a EV or sitting in an EV was going to be equivalent to sitting in a microwave and all this garbage. His tests pretty much showed that that's rubbish. But yeah, there was some EMF when it's charging. But if you're happy to hold a phone to your ear, then I don't think there's anything to be worried about. But yeah, if you want to avoid that, then don't sit in the car while it's charging. Most of us don't anyway. But yeah, I think it's no more than holding a phone to your ear myself. This is a unique supercharger, I believe. Yeah, if you haven't seen that video, I definitely recommend it. Ryan does some really good stuff. So this is the Harris Ranch supercharger. It's got the solar canopies. It's got windscreen washers. It's actually got a shuttle that will take you over to the restaurants and that kind of stuff. It's pretty impressive to see what you can do if they put a bit of effort in. I'm not sure how many chargers are there. Looks like there's quite a few, but it's a really nice setup. It's a pretty massive one, obviously, but yeah, they're having the windscreen washers and all that kind of stuff, bins and shuttle buses and that kind of thing. That's really great to see. yeah, definitely worth a watch if you haven't seen it already. Personally, I don't think there's much to it, but especially the claims were that even just driving the vehicle was a risk to health and safety, which is pretty silly. Don't know if anyone caught these photos, supposedly of the new Model Y, similar to we saw with the Model 3 Highland when it was undergoing testing. A front and back covered up. I'm expecting the Model Y facelift will be very similar to what happened with the Model 3. I don't expect new battery technologies or anything like that, as some people are claiming. But we'll wait and see. One thing that's been jumped on again is that if we zoom in on the front, there's a what looks like a front camera there, which they had on the Model 3 Highland as well during the testing, but it got removed when it went into production. So I wouldn't get your hopes up too high if you think that's going to be a feature in the production version. I suspect it's going to be just like the Highland, where they just use it for some reason for testing. But who knows? Could be. But I also don't expect to see those vehicles into Australia till late next year myself. Hey, Hal, good to see you here. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, EMFs everywhere, but if you're happy to use a mobile phone next to your head, then you're pretty much going to be exposed to more EMF there than most other things. I know about his YouTube channel. I haven't looked at the website. I'm not sure what he's offering there. Another cool sighting this week is the new Victorian electric fire truck. So the EV can put out its own fires. Good to see. So it's obviously tied in there with EV, the charger company. Maybe it's a sponsorship or something, but it's great to see more large vehicles becoming EVs. Yeah, what else we got here? So version updates. We've got 20.9 is going through the rollouts at the moment. I just received that one a day or two ago. Nothing significant, unfortunately, in as improvements, just bug fixes, that kind of stuff. We've got 2024.26. I'm hearing could go out next week. They're already on 26.1, which may be the release candidate. Potentially, we may see that one start rolling out next week. That's the one with the significant updates as far as having more streaming options and some other improvements as well. And hopefully, maybe when we get our auto park for the non-USS vehicles and the new auto park system for everybody, as well as some other improvements. Those in the States, 2024.15.15 has just released with 12.4.3 of FSD. I'm seeing some really good stuff with FSD, significantly improving the way way it works. This one here was pretty cool. I'll just key this one up, showing FSD being smart enough to realize when a navigation error in the mapping system. Here we've got a mapping telling it to go straight through, do a U-turn and come back. Apparently this little turn had just been recently added. FSD has seen the turn and ignored the map and gone ahead and turned. I've actually seen this twice now with the latest versions. It's pretty amazing that it's smart enough to do that and learning all these things. Talking FSD, we have spoken about over the last couple of weeks the eighth event with the Robotaxi reveal. There's rumours circulating that that's going to be postponed to October, unconfirmed at this stage. I know the reporters that have supposedly got the inside info from employees or unnamed sources have been known to make crap up in the past. It's highly possible. I'm not going to be worried either way myself. I think that any sort of new release like that is fraught with a chance of delays. If you do believe the report, the reason being they wanted to have more vehicles available, so that suggests that there is going to be some sort of a vehicle reveal, which is good news. But we'll see. Yeah, Hal, I've not looked into that too much. I've seen a couple of reports about it. I'm not sure how they've unlocked the extra bit of range there. I'm in two minds. I get the sort of anger, I guess, that you've got to pay more to release the extra bit of capacity, but at the same time, you got what you paid for. You paid for a car with a certain capacity and range. If they found a way now to unlock a little bit more, then yeah, I don't see a problem with paying for that if you want it. I don't know what do you guys think? Why you guys top in what your thoughts are on that? More self-driving type information or news. This video surfaced just a couple of days ago. This is Baidu in China, and these are all the guys sitting there actually driving the cars when they need to be driven. So there's quite a few of them with hands on wheels and actually controlling cars when the car runs into problems and needs some help. It's pretty easy to see. Wouldn't be surprised if there's a similar sort of setup at Waymo. Yeah, look, I've managed many developers and engineers in the past that quite often give very ambitious dates, and I know Elon does it as well to try and keep his team under pressure as well. So, you know, if you're doing things for the first time that have never been done before, then their blowouts are to be expected. I don't get too wrapped up in them, and I don't think that there should be any reason to get too upset if a date blows out, especially when these are things that have never been done before and no one else is able to do. So, yeah. Another interesting find. It's been around for a little while now. There's a couple of test mules floating around with it's a Model Y with some extra cameras or cameras in different locations. There's a lot of speculation about what this is and why it's going around. So we've got the side cameras sort of moved back from the normal position. The front camera there, and there's some weirdness going along with the side cameras there as well. My personal thought is that this is some sort of a test for a potential licensing deal. I know some people say it's for the robotaxi, but I don't really think that's the case. With the Cybertruck, they never had any test mules with different locations testing them. They just waited till it was released. I think the most likely scenario is this might be for another company's vehicle that may be looking at using FSD. Maybe it's a long shot, but I think that's a possibility there. You guys think about that? That's my personal opinion on that one. But I know there's been a lot of pushback on that, but who knows? We'll wait and see, I guess. But it's interesting. Last one on FSD development is this information that was published about the next version of FSD 12.5. They're looking at having the vehicles themselves update mapping. So the system will look at where vehicles are going and use that to update maps rather than just rely on Google Maps completely. And the other one is the vehicle to fleet communication. So when it comes across a road closure, an obstacle, or anything like that, it's going to feed that information to the other vehicles. So that's going to be very good to see. Yeah, I agree, Hal. It's and then that's the reason why we're so delayed here in Australia as well, is because the training data is all left-hand drive, and that's going to be the big challenge for anyone else that's trying to do this. We've got Waymo that does a good job in their particular implementation, but it's got massive drawbacks in that it is only available in very small geo-fenced areas. The cars are costing like $300,000 each. So the scalability of that is virtually non-existent. So it's a big issue for them. We've got other players that are trying now to go to the camera-only route after trying LiDAR and realizing it's not viable. But they need that inference computer. They need the software to be able to do it, and they need all that data, the billions of miles of data that Tesla's collecting. So it's going to be very hard for anyone else to try and catch up. Anyone else got any new news they've seen over the last few days, or any comments? Hey, Jasper, I was covering that earlier. I've been hanging out for it. I was hoping with 20.9, we might have got it. Unfortunately, that one came through just the other day and doesn't have it yet. I believe that 2024 to 26.1 is currently going through some sort of release candidate testing. I'm hearing that may come out next week. So fingers crossed that may have the Autopark, the new Autopark in there. But I haven't heard anything to say it will or not. I'm guessing they're just waiting on approvals for that. So hopefully soon. I'm very keen for it. Definitely, when I get it, there'll be a video testing it out. So keep an eye out. Make sure you're subscribed, and we'll definitely check it out as soon as it comes out. you got any more information on that Amazing EVs site, set site? Yeah, semi ramp definitely seems to be picking up. It's going to be good, and I would love to see those start to go out. Yeah, FSD. Yeah, it's going to be a little way off, especially in Australia. I like the idea of FSD because I really think that can be used if it gets widespread enough to really reduce road tolls, and there's millions of lives that are wasted every year on the roads that don't need to be. So I'm very keen to see that technology start to pick up and be utilised. But yeah, I agree with you too that semi's a massive one, and megapacks as well. We saw the results for megapacks being spectacular. They're really getting those pumped out at a massive rate. And when the second factory opens up in Shanghai, we can see some really massive output there. So that's going to be good to see. Okay. Let's see if I can get it up. Interesting. Okay, I've seen Roscoe's channel, but I hadn't seen this particular site. Definitely looks like something people should check out if they're looking for a second hand. Oh, there we go. We've got a Rolls-Royce Spectre there. Wonder if they'll take a $10 deposit. Nice. That's good to see. I'll have to check that out in a bit more detail later on. So what else have we got going on? I'll be doing my trip to Brisbane next week. I'll do a little video on the trip as we go through. I do plan to do the Wednesday night stream. It'll probably be a shorter one again. I won't be at home, but I'll definitely have a better connection than I had last week, so that should be better. We'll do the best we can with that, and then we'll have Tom back the week after, which I'm sure will be a relief for everybody. Yeah, so the mapping has been improved quite a bit in China there, Jasper. It was good to see. And I think that's part of what they're looking at with the next version of FSD, where it's going to be able to share route data and update maps on the fly via which actual lanes people do take and that kind of thing. So that'll be interesting. Yeah, hell, exactly. Even I've seen some vehicles that have been caught in house fires, and the vehicle's burnt, but the battery hasn't even caught fire in those instances. So, as we knew, and yeah, it's not. I don't think it's any surprise to anyone watching the stream, but these so-called death traps and EVs are just waiting to burst into flames have really. It's just been another one of those myths that. Is quite silly, and the fact we've got now fire trucks that are EVs, it's even more humorous. But yeah, we did see one Tesla that did end up catching fire. That was near where I am in Goulburn. There's actually a really good video on that from EV Fire Safe, who are a bunch of fire investigators who tore it apart and really showed why it caught fire, how it caught fire, and all the pretty amazing safety features that Tesla do have in their battery packs. For those that don't know, that one was a massive bit of metal that fell back over a truck, managed to tear the whole center of the battery out and caused a fire. But the occupants had a warning in the car to say pull over and get out. They had plenty of time to pull over, got out, and they actually came back about 10 minutes later and collected their stuff out of the boot. So they were able to operate the boot. The battery was still working at that point, get everything out, and then it eventually caught fire. But what was amazing in that is when they showed the fire investigation, there was a little bottle of water, one of those little cheap plastic bottles of water you buy at a supermarket, sitting in the passenger cabin. It didn't even melt, and those things melt in the sun. Just have to get in the sun for 10 minutes, they'll start melting. So the cabin was very well preserved, and they were showing all the features that Tesla include as far as having the batteries kind of eject themselves out of the bottom of the car when they're on fire, so that they don't remain burning next to other batteries and catching them alight. So it's pretty amazing when you see that investigation. But yeah, there's been plenty of some really horrific accidents that I've seen with Tesla vehicles that haven't resulted in fires and resulted in everyone walking away safely, where there's just no way you'd think that anyone would walk out of those. There's one recently I saw in China that was, I don't know how they did it. They must have been just absolutely being completely stupid, and managed to flip end over end like 6 or 7 times, and both passengers were just sitting there fine at the end of it all. And there's just no way you'd think that would have survived that in any other car. Yeah, absolutely. And I've seen several cars, several ICE vehicles catch on fire. It happens quite regularly. Yeah, I'm not sure if I've got the option to do that. I think I've only got an option to do 5. But anyway, we'll hold it off, and because I've only got 5 left for this month, so we'll do it later in the month. All right, I'll check that out later on. I couldn't see it. Hey, Kev, how you doing? Okay, nice. Did you go for a test drive or just got to sit in it? The red's definitely the go, but as you know, I'm pretty biased. I like Sam. I think he's a good guy. He, I did watch his channel quite a bit when I was going through the early stages of looking at EVs. He does some good stuff. I think he's tended to go a lot more sensationalist, and has kind of quite often made claims that are just based on rumors, but kind of stated as fact, and really led a lot of people astray. Especially with the new Model Y and even the Model 3 Highland. A lot of the stuff he kind of kept coming out with were just absolute rumors that had no real basis and kind of stated as facts. So that kind of turned me off a little bit. But I think he's a good guy. I think he's he's got his heart in the right place. I still watch his videos time to time. I don't like to bag anyone out that's giving it a go, and he's certainly a lot more polished and got a lot more subscribers than I do. But I just kind of got turned off a little bit with some of the sensationalist sort of stuff that came. So it was starting to come out. Nice. Yeah, once you test drove it, the experience was just fantastic, and that one pedal driving and everything that kind of blew me away. How easy that was to get used to, and how crappy it felt like going back to a normal car. Oh yeah, okay. Auto Expert is an exception. I will bag him out with no problems at all. He is a complete sensationalist, and yeah, I kind of enjoyed watching some of his videos just for entertainment value, watching him rant on and carry on like an idiot. But yeah, he's got no credibility whatsoever as far as I'm concerned, and yeah, it's just he is just there to cater for his audience. That's all there is to it. He's got no basis in facts or anything like that. He'll just likes to rant on and try and get his audience fired up, and clickbait is pretty much his game. Number 9. Seriously? I had no idea. I would not have expected that. I wouldn't expect it to make the top 30. I don't know where do you get those statistics from. That's a surprise to me. I like Lee. He does some good stuff. Not a car guy. I don't know Juiced Garage, but yeah, Lee does some really good stuff. And the fact he's coming from a non-technical perspective is good to see. Doesn't he puts it out? Yeah, puts information out there that is at the easy to understand and that kind of thing. Yeah, seeing a lot of agreement as far as Mr. Auto Expert. I actually saw him advertising EVs. Funny enough, he does advertisements for some of the novated leased companies saying how great EVs are. So he's completely, whoever's going to pay him the most will get his viewing, his endorsement. Okay. Interesting. Who was number 1? I wouldn't even know where to find how many monthly views I've got. Actually, I do know where to find it, but I don't really pay that much attention to it, to be honest. I've certainly never compared to other channels. I'm surprised that it would be anywhere near that. Thanks for that. That's good information. Okay, yep. Yeah, those top 3 I definitely would pick. Yeah, I mean, Electric Viking, Sam does a great job, does a great presentation, does a lot of videos. So I can see, definitely why he's popular. Ryan, I really like his videos are just always a little bit different, and those little role plays he does and that kind of thing are always pretty cool. And obviously, Ludicrous Feed does a fantastic job too. So it'd be great to have him back in another week. Yeah, I had seen that, Hal. Yeah. Yeah, he certainly doesn't like Tesla as well, so oh well, his loss. Yeah, we are talking about that earlier, actually. We had the link for that video. Oh, nice. Yeah. That would be interesting. I mean, I personally, I know I said this earlier as well, but I don't see it as a massive issue. If you're going to have a mobile phone to your ear, the amount of EMF you got to get off that is pretty high anyway. So and obviously, just from Ryan's little test, you could see there was nothing there at all during driving. It was only while charging that you're going to get any sort of EMI. But it'd be interesting to see a more detailed one and see how it looks. Yeah, absolutely. Thanks. I'm blown away. Like I said, we'll keep going with the Sunday lives, and hopefully they'll start getting more viewers and more popular. I'll do that extra Wednesday one again this week till Tom gets back the week after, and we'll have a bit more content coming up soon with the little Brisbane trip and everything else. So we'll keep plugging away. As you guys know, it's just done as a hobby for me at the moment, so it's a little bit hard sometimes to get the time to do stuff, but I'll keep doing as long as people want to watch it, and as long as people keep turning up, I'll keep turning up myself. Oh, nice. Yeah, it definitely is interesting. I'd never put too much stock into it. I just felt it was another one of those, the next myth to try and push the anti-EV bandwagon after everything else has failed. But the results so far seem to back that up. We'll wait and see. It's definitely worth checking out and being aware of if it is an issue. But I don't expect it to be. Okay, I haven't watched too much of Beyond stuff. I did early on, but I haven't for quite a while now. So interesting. I wasn't aware of that. Wow. Okay. I really don't pay enough attention to this stuff. 29,000 per month. That's okay. I'm happy with that. Definitely not at Sam's level. Wow. Yeah. Look, I'm surprised by that. I've had kind of been focusing more on a subscriber count and trying to get that up. But if anyone hasn't subscribed and they're watching, please do subscribe. It does help and doesn't cost you anything. Just it helps to boost the channel a little bit and helps me to grow it a little bit and get some better content out there. So it's really appreciated, those who have subscribed. And if you are really keen and want to help a little bit more, the memberships are available for about a quarter of a cup of coffee, depending if you're in Melbourne or not. Did anyone get to check out the MG? I'd love to get back down there. This trip was a few years in the making, just trying to get time to get down there and do it. I'll definitely want to go back again, but probably not in the next year. Maybe in 2 or 3 years, we'll see how we go. Yeah, I'll be doing the trip from Brisbane then hopefully then too. So it'll be a much longer trip, and through we'll see how charging infrastructure goes. That'll be interesting if I can actually do a big trip like that at some point. I'll be very keen to. So yeah, it'll happen, but probably not in the next year. Oh, nice. Yeah, I'll check that one out. I do see Sydney EV quite a bit, especially on X. I'll make sure I check out that video. What did you think of it? Cyberster would definitely be a good to check out and see how it compares to the Model 3 performance. There has been some negative press about the Model 3 performance and its ability to last on the track. Apparently, with the combination of the brakes, the stock brakes, and having to use regen to really make them work, they don't last very long, many laps, until they start to really sort of either the brakes or the battery is going to get stuck at overheating. Certainly, if you're going to be doing any serious track work, you'd need to upgrade those brakes, and that way you could lessen the regen and be able to get more out of it. But it's still an amazing car for the price you pay for it. You don't get that sort of performance out of anything less than hundreds of thousands of dollars. So it's definitely a great car. But yeah, if you're really serious about track work, and most of those guys that do tend to modify their cars pretty heavily. I know a base I was at, we used to have track weekends where the local track club came out, and we opened up the runways and taxiways and had a little track, which was really fun. But those guys, none of them had stock cars. They all modified them pretty heavily. So I think the negativity is a little bit overblown. But it's slightly disappointing, I guess, that it has some limitations there. But for most people, they're never going to take it on a track anyway. So I don't think it's much of an issue. Yeah, I think what I've seen of it, it looks pretty cool. I definitely would like to check it out at some point. The other news, actually, which I forgot to mention, was the new Model 3 long-range rear-wheel drive that's just been released in the US. It's actually the cheaper than the all-wheel drive with the battery rebates that are available in the US. It's a longer range than the all-wheel drive long range, and cheaper. So it's cheaper than the standard range even with those rebates. So that's going to be good. I don't know if that'll come out here. I don't think so, and certainly it won't have those rebates if it does. But it's an interesting option for those in the US. Yeah, that's unfortunately those the supercharger there hadn't opened when I went through, so I probably won't be doing an Adelaide trip while I'm still in Canberra. Although, yeah, I'd probably not at this stage. But it would have been good to do that particular route. Ah, nice. So you got to see it, Chris? Wonder if they'll give any test drives in the Cyberstar. What are they going for? Do you know? No one's got a price on the Cyberstar. Okay, so it looks like here between 100 and 150,000 plus on roads. Yeah. No, it does look nice. Yeah. Interesting. All right. I'll have to see if it comes to or I can actually have a look at it. Yeah, guys, I think we might start wrapping it up if that's no one has anything else there. As mentioned, I'll do the stream Wednesday night. If I can get a guest on, that would be really great. I'll be away again, but hopefully on a much better connection. We'll definitely have a broadband connection, not the Wi-Fi crappy hotel one I had. So we'll see how we go. And then it's the last one before Tom comes back, and we'll just stick with these Sunday night streams after that. Anyhow, guys, thanks for joining in. Please hit the like if you haven't already. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing, and really appreciate it. And we'll catch you guys Wednesday night.